Hey guys, this is GameZone and welcome to my video. So Diablo Immortal is just around the corner and I'll be covering all the content on my channel from day one release, and let's talk about when is the game coming out. Diablo Immortal is coming out on June 2nd on mobile and PC, and it's going to be cross-play, meaning we can switch to any device at any time whenever we like. All we have to do is log on and log into another device or PC and we'll be able to start right from where we left off. And having the ability to play on PC also makes the game easier to play for longer duration, since you don't have to worry about the battery of your mobile or your finger getting numb or hurt. And the game is completely free to download and play on your device, whichever you choose. Whether it's PC or a mobile, it really doesn't matter. Although the game is free to play, but it has an in-game purchase system which makes the game pay to win, and there have been already talked about it. Blizzard says we can completely play the game for free and obtain all the items that are in the game for free without paying at all, but the real question is, how long would it take to get to the end game compared to the players, those who will spend thousands of dollars or moderate amount of cash in the game? Well, the only way we could find about that is to play the game, and I want to let you guys know most of my content of Diablo Immortal is going to be free to play on my channel, meaning I won't be spending money buying stuff to speed up my progress, and I also actually want to see the paywall in Diablo Immortal. It would help us determine how much the game is pay to win. So I'll be bringing you guys the free to play content. I'll be letting you guys know how many hours I have been playing on daily basis and how much have I spent on the game. So stay tuned to my channel and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll be bringing you guys all the tips and tricks and guide to play the game as a free to play player, and where to spend if it's necessary. Now let's talk about the class that I'm going to play with, which is Demon Hunter. And if you guys are still wondering of what class you guys should pick, and you're thinking about Demon Hunter and get not sure about it, then let me share you guys my reasons of picking Demon Hunter and why I'm so excited to play as a Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter is the most stylish looking class, and all the cosmetic looks really great on Demon Hunter in my opinion. Getting to the end game, running around with your DH with awesome looking cosmetic will sure attract some attraction towards it, and I'm sure it's going to be a plus point for most people. Also, Demon Hunter is the most DPS class, which makes him a glass cannon, but it's a lot fun playing with it. And as per my understanding, Demon Hunter is a great in PvP class and somewhere around in between of PvP or a bit better. But as we all know that PvP is going to be a place where players with deep pockets are going to shine no matter what the class they are running with. And what important is that I'm having fun with the class that I'm playing with, and sure I want to be competitive, but I also want it to be fun. Having in the top ladder and getting no fun out of it because the class that you're running is not the one that you love is sure going to kill the fun out of the game, and Demon Hunter is what I love to play. So yeah, my choice is going to be definitely a Demon Hunter. And Demon Hunter has some really good skills which makes the class fun to play, and the best way I would like to play my Demon Hunter is with kite build, where I could round up all the mobs and then destroy them with my high DPS builds. And if you're a guy who would want to focus more on the PvE stuff compared to PvP, then Demon Hunter is a really good choice. Now let's talk about the builds, because I already came up with some great builds and I'm going to talk about the one that I'm going to use and why I'm going to use. Now before we get into the skills of Demon Hunter and the legendary gear pieces, I want to talk about the gear set and why it is so important to have this gear set for Demon Hunter. So the gear set name is Wind Perfection, and it's a must-have for builds where you have to kite around the mobs and gather them up so you can do high DPS on them. Because what it does is it gives you speed boost, and it has 3 buffs which you get on the first one, which you will get on 2 pieces, then 4, and the last one is on 6. And these buffs in my opinion are really great for a kite build for Demon Hunter. As you can see, on the first buff you will gain 1000 wings, increasing your movement speed by 15%, and it will get deactivated for 3 seconds if you get damage. But since you'll be kiting around, getting hit by the mobs is hardly going to happen. And on the second buff with 4 pieces of this gear set, you will get increased damage done by 20% while 1000 wind is active. And I think that's a great buff there. You're just kiting around the mobs, rounding them up and dealing 20% more damage, and they aren't able to catch you up because of the speed. That's just awesome. And if that's not awesome, then just look at the third buff of this set gear piece, which is gain a shield that makes you immune to damage 5 times while 1000 wind is active. Cannot gain this shield more than once every 40 seconds. So what it would mean is that even though if you get hit by the enemy, but you won't take any damage from them until you get hit 5 times. So you'll be immune for taking 5 hits and still be able to deal damage with 20% increased buff. And I think that's a great gear set piece there, and it's a must have for Demon Hunters, especially when you're making plan on making your builds around kiting enemies. And these are the difficulties on which you have to play and the locations where you have to go and farm to find these set gear pieces. So now let's talk about the skills and the legendary gear pieces which I'm going to use. Alright, let's start with the skills which are on the right side. As you can see, I'm going to use explosive arrow, and it does a lot of damage, but it has a downside, which is that in order to fire these explosive arrows you won't be able to move around. But since you'll be running around with the Wind's Loft set gear piece, you'll be easily able to make distance from the mobs. So it's a really good combo, having explosive arrow with the Wind Loft gear set. And then I'm going to use multi shot, which is really good. Once you gather a lot of mobs around, then you can just fire them up with the multi shot, since it has a really good AoE. And then there is a spinning chakram. Well, the base spinning chakram isn't going to be that effective, so I'm going to use a legendary piece which would allow my skill to circle around me whenever I'm running, moving, or whatever I'm doing is just gonna orbit around me. It's a great skill since it does a lot of damage. And then after that I'm going to use Rain of Vengeance, and it's also a really great AoE skill. Then there is Vengeance, which increases your base primary damage, and these are going to be my 4 skills with the primary. And on the left side, as you can see, these are the legendary pieces. So these are what I'm going to look forward for while I'm farming. The first one is Heart of Vengeance. It will decrease my cooldown of Vengeance, which I think is a great ability. Then there is a Vision of the Lost. What it does is during Vengeance, each defeated enemy increases the remaining duration of Vengeance, which is also great. I think it goes up to 2.4 seconds. So you'll be able to use your Vengeance around for 8 seconds, which in my opinion is devastating with explosive arrows. If you get the chance to use that for 8 seconds, that's going to be awesome. Then there's a Pants, I guess, Slayer Breaches. What it does is enemies hit by Chakram will suffer additional damage, and I think that's a great addition for your skill. And for the shoulders, I'm going to use Sky Striker, which will allow Rain of Vengeance instant summons a flying shadow beast that continually drops bombs in an area, and trust me, it's going to deal a lot of damage, and the AoE is going to be great. And on my main and offhand weapons, these are the crossbows which I'm going to use. The first one is the Flame Spike Multi-Shot. Now fires flaming arrows that damage and burn enemies, and it's a great skill. It will keep the damage going, and you'll be able to kite around them and use your chakram. And on your other crossbow, I'm going to use Shredder Vein, which is chakram now orbits around your location for several seconds. And this is a really important crossbow, because having this crossbow with chakram, you'll be able to kite around and deal damage to your enemies a lot without even stopping, and they're just trying to chase you, trying to get a hit on you, but they won't be able to do that since you'll be running around with high speed with the gear set piece of Wind Loft. And these are the setup which I'm going to look forward for and going to farm a lot when the game comes out. So yeah guys, this was it for the video, and I hope you guys liked it. And I have made some more builds. If you guys are interested in seeing those, then I'm just gonna leave those at the end of the video, and I'll see you guys later. Until then, stay safe and keep having fun, and yeah, I'll see you later. Bye.